Ladies and gentlemen, podcasting since 2005. You're listening to Gamertag Radio. With your hosts, podcaster Hall of Famer Danny Pena, the always opinionated Paris Lilly, and from outside of the norm, Peter Toledo. This is Gamertag Radio.
All right, live from Bryant Park, New York City. This is your host, Danny. Thank you for listening to episode, I don't know what number, of Gamertag Radio. And also I have here joining me for this episode, we have Tony Polanco, man.
Danny, what is up, man, on this semi-beautiful day, you know?
Yeah, it's a little bit cloudy here, so... right now we're just eating and having a drink over here. And for those who are listening, you're also joining us, man. So go get a drink.
That's right.
And we be part of the conversation, man. So I want you to feel like you're part of our roundtable discussion over here.
That's it, man.
You know
everybody's invited, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. So first thing first, for those who are listening, head over to gamertagradio.com. You could also find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Subscribe, follow us, post a review. Right, Tony?
That's right.
Also, if you'd like to be part of our FanMo episode, this is how you can contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
By the way, Tony, we had a listener from Haiti that sent me an audio question for our fan mail episode. So I'm going to put that up very, very soon. And
that's dope.
It was good. It's good to see people that listen to the show but have never sent a question. And they're sending for like the first time. It's cool to interact with them, man.
Yeah.
So you probably, on your show, Throwdown, you make sure to subscribe. Great show.
Yes.
You probably get a lot of listeners from worldwide, ask questions, right?
Yeah.
Like to you guys?
Yeah, no, we get that a lot. Like most of our audience is American, like about 75% of them. But think about it, 75%, that means 25% is the rest of the world, right?
Yeah.
And I love getting like things from like the Philippines, the United Arab Emirates, some countries in Africa, even some Caribbean countries like the Virgin Islands. Is really dope getting that, Yeah. And I also love, and I want to get your take on this too, like when you hear this, like, hey, I've been listening to you guys for years. This is my first time talking to you guys. Like, yo, that's awesome.
I'll tell you my theory in that. I think, and you as a brand new content creator, you want people to hit you up right away, right? But remember, the listener are trying to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
They start listening to you. Maybe there's going to be a conversation or a moment that will make them feel comfortable, and that's when they're going to hit you up for the first time. So we get messages like that all the time. Long-time listener, first time sending you an email or voice message for you guys, So it takes time, man. It takes a lot of time. So, there's people that listen to your show. They're just too shy to send that message.
Well, that's the thing. The majority of our fans, they don't interact with us, right? Like we get the kind of usual guys, that interact all the time. Mm-hmm. But the vast majority of people, I'm talking about for both of our shows, they just enjoy our content and that's it, you know?
So the listener that won a free game.
Yeah.
I don't know what game that was.
It was Ghost of Tsushima, and his name on Twitter is Jolly Yellow.
I didn't know he was a listener of GTR.
Yeah.
I had no idea. So we have a lot of listeners that I don't know that are listeners, but they'll go to your show and also listen. And look, they signed up for that giveaway and they won, and that's pretty dope.
I love being on each other's shows because like there's a cross pollination. Like how many guys I've put onto Gamertag Radio just because I've mentioned you guys. Especially this year, you guys have been blowing up. So every time you guys do something, I like tell them like, yo, go check out Gamertag Radio, and they get back to like, yo, I listened to Gamertag first time. Those guys are great. Thank you for putting me on.
I just love the cross promotion thing, man.
Yeah.
It's good for both of us, man. And dude, we're having fun with this. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get Tony here. I want them new listeners. It's not.
No.
It's because I know you, and I know it creates great conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Now, let's start our conversation, Tony.
Yes, let's do this.
So, for those that are sitting here with us and enjoying our drink, make sure to take a sip right now. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right. So, Tony hit me up a couple days ago. He's like, hey, Dan, let's meet up at the park. I have a lot of things to say. I have no idea what it is that you want to talk about. This is straight up freestyle for those who are listening.
Man.
Straight up freestyle. So what is it you want to talk about?
Main thing I want to talk about is Xbox Game Pass, right? There's been a lot of conversation about Xbox Game Pass because of the Xbox Game Showcase. The showcase was really more like a Xbox Game Pass showcase, right?
Yeah.
And then you posted a video that Alana Pierce did, and she was wondering why aren't more people excited or talking about Xbox Game Pass, right? And then I started asking myself, right? Because, you and I have been talking about it. Like, even though I do have Game Pass, I don't use it that often. I was like, okay, how come I'm not excited for it, right? And then I had to ask myself, the first question, I was like, is it just because it's a Microsoft thing? And then I was like, what if Sony had Game Pass? Would I personally be excited? I'm like, probably not. But then I realized, okay, just being completely honest here.
Yeah.
I get most games for free because I'm a gaming journalist, right? So I don't really have time to play games for my own pleasure. But stepping outside of myself, Xbox Game Pass, and I've said this before, it is a great deal, right? So on that, if it's such a great deal, it is objectively great. $15 a month for the ultimate version. You get all access to hundreds of games, right? Why don't people care as much? And I asked this question on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
To a lot of my followers. And the thing that they kept saying the most was, and this is where I want you to chime in, they said they want to own their games. Even if it's just digital, they feel like Game Pass, they're just renting the games. They're not owning them. They want to own their games. So what's your take on that?
So my question to them, are they part of subscription service to watch movies and TV series? Yeah. Are they part of a subscription service to listen to music? Because if you are part of a subscription service for that, you don't own the music, the movies, the TV series, the anime, whatever it is that you subscribe to. You're not the owner of that. And here's the thing. A couple years ago, and I mentioned this on a podcast and on video. A couple years ago, I mentioned on the show that this is during the 360 PlayStation 3 days.
Yeah.
I said, digital is the future. I don't need to get disc. I just download them, right? People hit me up mad, angry, via email, even posted a bad review on Apple because of my opinion. Because I said digital is the future. It's not the physical. One of the main reasons why they were saying that they want to own and have that physical, I get the part where you might live in an area that maybe the internet access is not that great speed. Totally different conversation. That I completely understand, right? But if you buy a game at the store, you play it, and then you trade it, you are hurting the industry. You know why? 100% of that money, when you trade that game to a store, is the company gets that money. Not the developers, not the studio, not the publisher.
Store, yeah.
The game store.
Yeah.
So let's say GameStop.
Yeah.
You trade in your game, they probably give you $10, $15 for that game. Then at the store, they'll sell it for $30. They get 100% profit of that. You're hurting the industry by doing that.
No, you're right about that.
So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because that's also part of the conversation where people are saying Xbox is hurting the industry by doing that. First of all, PlayStation is doing the same thing. Google Stadia is doing the same thing. Ubisoft, EA, they're kind of doing the same thing. It's not hurting the industry. You know why? Because they are getting a percentage, and also if it's their game, that's 100% for them. But if it's like with a third-party deal, third-party company that they have their game on Game Pass or any other services, they'll get the majority of the money, and Microsoft will get a percentage of that, a small percentage of that. That's better, and that's helping the industry doing that more than you trading your game at the store.
Yeah. No, well, the thing is, people are just thinking about themselves in that case. Like, okay, like I bought this game, I want to sell it.
Yeah.
And just to your point about, because I also asked that the question, I'm like, how come people don't seem to complain about Spotify, Netflix, right? But they do about these game services. And a lot of the replies I got was that people don't feel as connected to movies and music the way they do video games. That's why they want to own them instead. And I could understand that. It's like with a movie, 2 hours, you're done, Yeah. An album, an hour, you're done. With a game, you're there for 60 hours.
Yeah.
So I could understand that, So maybe that's what, because again, I asked you this question, and we were both like, we don't understand. It's like, why are people the same people that complain about Game Pass okay with Netflix and stuff. So I think that's one of the reasons.
It's too new.
Yeah.
It's very new in our industry. It's going to take some time. This right now, Microsoft is not making profit from this right now. Also, Disney Plus is not making profit, and remember, they have that service even cheaper
Yeah.
than Netflix. And Netflix been around. They were they were like the pioneers of that, right? And Disney just launched a year ago,
Yeah.
and they have a goal. By a certain amount of years, they need to have this amount of subscribers for the company to finally get income.
Yeah.
This is the future, man. You'd rather pay $60 to $70 on a game that, yeah, you play for a year or two, maybe a couple months, and that's it. I prefer paying $15 a month, which I know is helping indie companies, it's helping third-party companies, and it's also helping first-party companies. And it's easy for me to download more games than buying every game.
Yeah.
Because I'm wasting more money doing that, man. I discover a lot of independent companies that make games that I know that by them releasing it retail, it's not enough, man. Not enough. Perfect example. Streets of Rage 4 came
Yeah.
out. You and me were hype about it.
Yeah, man.
I got it on Game Pass, but I love the game so much that I also bought it on the Switch. How's that hurting the industry? You have the option. The thing with Spotify and Netflix is you can't buy it from their service. That's it. That's all you have. Unless you go to a store, maybe a show, they'll have it like a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Maybe. That's a huge maybe, right? But with this, with Xbox, Game Pass, PlayStation Now, you have the option to go and buy those games at the store.
Yeah.
That's the huge difference, man. So don't feel like you're hurting the industry, and don't feel like you're obligated to sign up to that service because you're still buying those games. There's even independent companies that release their games, and they said they sold more because of Game Pass.
Yeah, because they gave them a higher profile.
Exactly. People are like, oh, they love it so much. You remember, those games are probably there for temporary. Could be a couple months. Once they're gone, that's it. So that will make you decide, like, damn, I like this game so much, I'm probably going to buy it.
Yeah, and if you do buy, you get a discount.
You get a discount.
And not only that, because there's something a lot of people complain about too, is that, oh, I don't like the fact that I'll be playing a game on Xbox Game Pass and they'll just take it away from you, right? It turns out Xbox gives you a month in advance, like warning, like we're going to take
they'll
this game
tell
out.
you. They'll
let you know. It's not hidden.
Now,
you know?
if it's first party, you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
Third party is different, and it's part of the business, man. Third party wants to continue with the business. They know that, for example, The Witcher 3, it was out for a couple of years. They released the show on Netflix. It sold more, right? But at around that same time, that game was released on Game Pass,
Yeah.
right? So the only thing that what they did was, okay, the game is out, the main game, the base game.
Yeah.
But if you want to download the expansion, you have to buy it. So that's another way for them to have that business, man. And if you want to buy The Witcher 3 while it's on Game Pass, now, like you said, it's gonna be cheaper now because you got it from Game Pass.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be the full price you're gonna pay. You know what I'm saying? So there's benefits with all that. Plus, you also got to talk about with Game Pass Ultimate, you have Xbox Live Gold, you have Project xCloud, the streaming service.
Yeah, that's coming in September, yeah.
So it's a lot of things, man, that is in that subscription service that if you're not a member, you're missing a lot of other opportunities for a lot of things in there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm like a spokesman.
Yeah, no, but it's
Pay me, Xbox.
You know, but the thing is, like, the reason I'm asking you all these questions is
Yeah.
because you are a pretty big advocate for it, you know, because you believe that, you know, it's a good service, like you're explaining now. So this is why I want to ask you these questions.
Yeah,
Again,
ask me whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll tell you my reasons.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, no, but I'm glad you did that. And then the other one is because I got two main ones right now, and this is based off the replies I got, right? Because what I did was I just posted a question. I didn't leave any of my my views. I said, let me put it out there, and I got a lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
one of them, they said that they feel, and this, I really want your take on this. They feel that it devalues games, right? And this is the example they brought out. When people were younger, I'm talking about guys like our age, right? We got maybe one game or two a year, right? We appreciated those games, right?
Yeah.
But if you have like 20 games at your disposal, you're just gonna just like take little nibbles here and there and not really appreciate and fully delve into what those titles have, And I could use, I guess, a little bit of a personal example. And by the way, I should just clear this out. I am not against Xbox Game Pass. I'm just
He's giving me the hard questions, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I'll answer from a gamer point of view.
Exactly.
I don't work for Microsoft at all. I'm just saying from a gamer point of view.
Yeah, but I remember when my nieces and nephews were younger, right? They come over. This is during the PS2 era, right? I had a lot of games, right? And they would always play a couple of games here and there, move on. And I thought, like, yo, when I was a kid, I didn't have that. It was one game and you just played the heck out of it, So what do you think about people who say that it devalues games?
I disagree because a couple things. When you you're into heavy metal,
Yeah.
right? You're not into hip hop at all.
Yeah, I used to love gangster rap in the early '90s, but I feel rap in general in like the mid '90s got a little too soft.
I hear you.
So, but I used to love it because it was mad aggressive. But yeah.
So if you subscribe to a service, let's say Spotify, or maybe you're using the free service, let's just make believe,
Yeah.
and you find out your favorite heavy metal band release an album, what is the first thing you're going to do? Listen to it, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it devalue that album by them doing that?
Yes and no, because I've asked myself this question, right? Because because I listen to a lot of bands. They come out with new albums literally Friday, bam, it's just right there.
Yeah.
But there's still always that, and maybe it's because I'm an old guy, right? There's still that little part of me that's like, yo, if like I remember buying the album, opening the booklet, reading the linear notes and stuff. So in a way it devalues it in that way, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I still get the same experience listening it.
But that's the thing, Tony.
Yeah.
I'm really into music, so I'm subscribed to the service of Spotify. Even I'm gonna take it even before that. I was into tapes.
Yeah.
CDs came out. I'm like, nah, man. I like my tapes, man. So there was artists that would add extra music on the tape that's not on the CD.
Yeah.
Right? Just so people could buy that tape instead of the CD, right? Then the CD became popular. Tapes went away. Then the digital version came out of the music, right? So people will have extra content on that CD. They even had the CD-ROM that you put the album on the PC.
I remember that.
There's videos, there's wallpaper, there's stuff that is not in the digital version. What happened? The digital version became popular.
Yeah.
So I get it. The majority of people don't like change. They don't like change. Right now, you might disagree on the path where a lot of these companies are going at right now. But it's not a bad thing. It's helping the industry, man. Helping the industry. It might hurt retail. That's a totally different conversation from that, But like the industry, they're making more. They're getting more money in return, right? When you watch a movie or TV series on Netflix that is good, because you're gonna find bad and good on everything.
That's
everywhere.
how it is.
Yeah. Even if you go to a movie theater, you might see some great movies. You might see some horrible ones too. So did that devalue the movie industry? No, it's part of the business, man. You're gonna find good stuff and bad stuff. With Netflix, Disney Plus, and all these other services, you'll find a lot of good stuff, and everybody talks about it. Becomes a trend, even getting awards, Emmys, maybe Oscars when it comes to music. It doesn't devalue this industry. It helps the industry. It helps the industry move forward, man. You can't just be stuck on the old way, man, because you know what it is? Competition is going to do something that's going to get attention, and it's going to take the industry to the next level, man. And look, I haven't mentioned anything about games. I'm talking about music and TV because they've been doing it for a while, and it's been working for them.
Yeah.
There's old directors and people that been in the industry for so long from film that they'll say, oh, it devalues
That's right,
that. But guess what? People still doing content for Netflix and other services. It doesn't devalue the industry, man. It pushes the industry forward, man. That's people were against about a bunch of other things that I mentioned from the past,
Yeah.
like a few minutes ago. But you will be the one. You're the developer that, let's say, they're listening, or a publisher or a studio. You're the one that's gonna change things around, man. Perfect example. The indie industry, the indie game industry, are the ones that are pushing the industry forward. Like when it comes to gaming in general.
Yeah,
you know why?
I always said that. Just to time it real quick. I always
Yeah.
said that with AAA's. And by the way, I'm a guy that actually prefers AAA games. I like the high budget, but I'll be the first to admit you're not going to get any innovation at all because those publishers need to make their money, so they got to play it safe, right?
Yeah.
Indie games, even though I'm not the biggest indie game fan, that's where you're going to get innovation. And if it works, the big guys are going to copy it.
Yeah.
So you need those indie games to foster those ideas.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. That's the reason I bring that up. Is the industry hurting because of that? No. Competition takes things to the next level, and at the end of the day, us consumers, we win. We win, Tony. Because if there's a game that you don't like, you're not gonna buy that game.
Yeah.
Or you as a journalist, you're gonna review that game and say, guys, this game is not that good. Right? Perfect example, man. Madden.
Yeah.
Madden. There's no competition. When there's no competition, the only company that's making that game,
Yeah, that's the problem.
they're comfortable and they do whatever they want every year, and that's it. But remember when NBA 2K or NFL 2K was around?
I remember that, yeah.
No, not NBA 2K, NFL 2K,
Yeah,
when,
NFL
that,
2K,
when
yeah.
that was around. And, dude, NFL 2K5 to me is my favorite football game. You know why? That game, first of all, presentation was sick. They added ESPN in there. And to make things worse, to compete, they were selling that game for $20.
Yeah.
So even every Madden fan was like, damn, that is good.
Yeah. That's hard to pass up.
That's
Yeah.
competition, man. So I don't care if you're a PlayStation guy, Xbox guy, Nintendo, whatever company it is. You need these companies to start doing that, man. Because it's going to change the industry. It's going to help us consumers to decide, like, yo, I like that. I'm going to support that. If you don't like it, don't buy it. You know what I'm saying? Because we vote with our wallet.
Yeah.
That's how you make the industry change. Not cursing and saying crazy things on Twitter and social media. Like,
Yeah.
that's not helping. It's your money, man. Companies are going to look at, they'll look at feedback, but at the end, when they release that product, they're going to look at those stats. Damn, you know what? It was a failure. We got to change it up for the next time. That's the thing that we need to do, man.
Yeah.
So I don't see that as like devaluing like the actual game
Yeah.
overall. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, I love
So-
how this is turning into me interviewing you right now.
I know.
I just realized that.
It is great. But no, it's
No, but it's good.
Again,
Yeah.
again, take a sip. Whoever's listening, take
Yeah,
a sip.
we're drinking right now.
Cheers,
Toast.
Tony. Cheers. We're
all right.
drinking beer.
Yeah. Right. What are we drinking now?
Okay.
Oberon from Bell's.
Yes.
American wheat ale. It's good stuff.
It's pretty good. I like it.
No, it's good stuff, man.
It's pretty good,
But
yeah.
Here's the other question I have, right? So, is it possible to? Okay, I'm going to use our homeboy Emilio Lopez, right? My co-host of Throwdown, right?
Shout out to Emilio.
Yeah, he is hardcore physical guy. He'll
That's
get
fine.
he'll get digital if it's only available digital.
Yeah.
But even if that digital version has a physical copy, he'll get it, right?
Okay.
He is on that camp. It devalues games, right? Is there any way to convince those guys, and to the extreme? And I know these guys on Twitter too.
Yeah.
They will not even buy digital games. They will only buy them if there's a physical version. Is there any way to convince those guys that about Xbox Game Pass, or are they just a lost cause?
Look, again, I was that type of person that was like, no, tapes. I don't care about CDs. I was like against CDs. Then digital came out. I was like, nah, I got to get the physical. I don't know about buying albums. But through time, I had to convince myself, like, buying a digital is fine too, man. As long the companies will give us access to re-download that content. Because, look, we always are changing devices, right?
Yeah.
How many times we change phones
Bro, yeah.
or tablets or computers? Can I still re-download that content?
Yeah.
So Apple been doing a pretty good job with that, man. Like, I've been exchanging, I've been buying new tablets, new devices all the time, and I'm re-downloading stuff that I bought years ago when the iPod came out.
Wow.
So I just had to get used to this, man. The business is going to move forward. There's always going to be people like Emilio that they want the physical, and that's fine. At least it's optional. Emilio, you could go to Amazon, but that crowd is declining every year, man.
Yeah, no, you're right.
We're keeping it real, man.
Yeah, we are keeping it real. As a matter of fact, every single time we talk about digital games and how they're blowing up, my man Emilio always gets that look on his face, like, it's like, is that true? I'm like, yeah, it is. Look at the numbers, bro.
It's a fact. But here's the thing. I lived with my ex.
Yeah.
We had an apartment. Tony, I had over 300 something games. Physical. Forget about digital. Physical disc. I didn't have space. I had to rent a storage. To me, digital, it's easier. I just need space. I could buy a little hard drive, whatever, but it's small. It's not a storage.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, no, it gets ridiculous like that, man.
Now, there's certain things that I would love to have the physical, just to have it, I'm going to go with the hip-hop side.
Yeah.
I love Nas Illmatic.
Yeah.
That, to me,
That's a classic album. Yeah.
that was like a life changer as a hip-hop hardcore fan. I have a huge history with that album. I bought the physical. I have the physical on disc, on CD. I have the tape, and also have the record. I have the record on a frame. Put it in the house. I can't do that with every album.
Yeah.
Certain albums, I'll buy the physical. Certain games,
Yeah.
I'll buy the physical.
Because how much it means to you. Yeah.
Yes, and I want to support as much as I can.
Yeah.
Like, I bought a digital, but you know what? I'm buying the physical too. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
those parts, those moments, that's fine. I can't do that with every single game.
Yeah.
Right now, 2020, I can't do that. It doesn't make sense for me because in the situation that I'm in, I can't buy every physical game. But if I'm subscribed to a service, I'm fine with that because at least I'm not missing out. I'm not wasting $70, $60 every single time a game comes out. And the reason why I mentioned 70 because now 2K is the only one right now.
That's right, yeah.
Said that it's going to be $70 per game, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But this is going to help the industry, man. If you're a parent, and you have kids at home, and you're also a gamer, the service is perfect for you. You pay whatever amount, the highest is $15 a month, and you can download those games. My boy, he's not a hardcore gamer. He doesn't read Kotaku, IGN, doesn't listen to my show. He actually called me, Danny,
Okay.
I just bought an Xbox One X. Should I subscribe to this? I go, yes, you have a daughter. And I told him, Halo Infinite is coming out. You could play Halo Infinite on your console through that service. You don't have to buy it. Your daughter could download Minecraft, all these other Lego, whatever games they have there for platforms for kids. She could play that. You're not wasting money. You're just wasting money on the service.
The service, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other thing I want to bring up, this is a little bit of a side thing, because I do think some people, once they actually try Game Pass, right, see the benefits, they'll really jump to it. And I'm going to use myself as an example, right?
Okay.
Because in my heart, I like old school, physical things, right? In my heart, but I'm also a practical guy, right? If something doesn't work for me in my life, it's gone, right? And I had a couple of epiphanies. Here's a big one, going back to CDs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I remember. This was early 2000s, right, when iPods were first coming out, right? I was in Union Square, 14th Street, right, a couple of blocks from here, right?
Yeah.
And I was waiting for my friends in front of the Virgin Mega Store, right? I'm listening to my CD, the CD finished, right? So I had to take out the little disc thing, put the disc in, and I looked around me. As I'm doing this, everybody had their MP3 players, right? And I thought to myself, Tony, what are you doing? Why are you lugging around 3 CDs in this little, knapsack or whatever, when these guys have hundreds of albums at their disposal? Yes, MP3 doesn't sound as good, but
Well, it depends on the quality.
yeah, but back then specifically,
back then.
But nowadays, my thing is I'm listening to maybe at 192K or whatever, but I'm outside in the city with all this noise anyway. It doesn't matter, right? That was the first one.
Yeah.
With gaming, I was like that too, Danny. I was like physical games all the way, right? And then one day it was snowing, so I couldn't get Assassin's Creed 3 from GameStop, right? So I had to download it, and I had that epiphany again. I'm like, yo, I have this game in my console right now, and I don't have to go anywhere. And again, when I finished my session, I'm like, I don't have to take a disc out. I don't have to take a disc in. You know, it's like, okay, so for me, and again, being a New Yorker, I'm like, digital is a lot better, right? So now for me, I guess the next hurdle would be like, all right, maybe I should just, not because obviously I'm still going to get games through PlayStation because they don't have Xbox Game Pass, but I see the benefit. Right now I'm playing Ori and the Will of the Wisp, Xbox Game Pass, right? I play Halo 1 and 2 Game Pass. It's a good service, even for me. You know what I'm saying? So I see the benefit of it. And this leads me to the last question I want to ask you, right? You specifically have outlined all the great things about Xbox Game Pass, right?
And digital also.
And digital and all that, because it is tied together, right?
Yeah.
How do you get people, how do you properly advertise this to bring it to a bigger audience, right? Aaron Greenberg, and I actually agree with him. You're not going to really do it through TV ads, Twitter posts. You got to do it through word of mouth. That's how it's going to grow.
You know what? What was one word that you missed? Experience.
Experience, yeah. And you know what? Just bring it back. Think about VR, right? You can't properly advertise that thing through traditional means. The only way you can advertise VR, hands-on. I think that's how you could advertise Xbox Game Pass. Is gotta be hands-on. You get the service, try it out. Again, it's only $1. You know, you know, you try it out and you have all these games at your disposal. Yes, I understand you can't play every single game all at once, but if you don't have to pay $70, let's just be real. That's where things are probably going to be heading. It's not bad. So what is the best way to advertise this thing to people who are not already in the ecosystem of Xbox? I'm talking about PlayStation guys, PC guys. No, PC guys are already on it. PlayStation guys and Nintendo guys. How do you get them?
And also
Xbox
board? Guys.
And Xbox, you're right about that. Because it's only 10 million out of like 90 million that are subscribed to like Xbox Gold or whatever, or Xbox Live. I mean,
but 10 million subscribers to Game Pass. That's a lot, and I believe it's 2 million on PlayStation now. Yeah. But also, let's think about how many people actually, when they buy a digital game, forget about the subscription. How many people actually buying those games digitally? Maybe right now we're in a COVID situation.
Yeah.
That quarantine, people are at the house. The stores were completely closed. The only option that we had was
digital.
Yeah.
Yo, and we saw a lot of that. Like, I'm going to use an example. Final Fantasy VII Remake, it blew up a lot. It had most sales on digital.
Because of the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, don't get me wrong. One thing that I miss is midnight launches.
Yeah.
You go to the store, long lines, people celebrating. I get it. We can't do that now. I totally get it.
Yeah.
I miss those days. I love that I could download the game early and it will unlock at midnight at the house. That Tony, you don't have to go out.
Yeah. No, it's great.
And I'm going to give you a perfect example too, man. You have a physical game. I'm going to take it back to the old days, PlayStation. When you play Final Fantasy 7, how many discs it was?
It was 3 discs, yeah.
You're done with disc 1. You got to go disc 2, take out disc 1, put disc 2, and then you can play. Let's fast forward. You buy the physical game, Tony. I'm talking to you. Now you got to put the physical game to the console, and you have to wait until it gets installed.
Yeah. I'm glad you asked me that question because that's what got me out of PlayStation 4 physical, right? At the beginning of the generation, I bought my games physical like always, right?
Yeah.
Then I realized, like, hold on. I have to install the entire game regardless. Why am I buying physical? So 2014, 2020 right now, I stopped. I've been all digital the entire time, and I've never looked back, and I don't regret it at all.
But digital, Tony, you're playing a game. You don't like it. You know what? Let me just switch. And by the way, I'm ordering more beer right now. So for those who are hanging out with us, being part of this conversation, right?
Yeah, yo, we got you. We're buying you another round too.
Yeah, we're buying another round. Yeah, you're playing a game. Oh damn! Let me play this other game, Tony. Without you going to the console, you could do everything from there, from the controller, laying down in bed, whatever. Like,
bro, that's why I personally went digital. I was like, this is too convenient right now.
Yeah, and especially look for those who don't know, Tony, you're disabled.
Yeah,
it's hard for you to move around like that every single time.
Yeah.
What companies are doing, yes, is beneficial for them to do this because there's no used game, so it's 100% profit. But at the same time, thinking about it from your point of view. Thank you, man. So I got my beer right here.
Yeah.
I got my extra beer. So from your situation, Tony, it benefits you, man, to get digital. You don't have to deal with this crap.
Yeah.
At all. So that's digital. With the physical, now, Tony, you're not buying every single game. You're getting it from the subscription service. Plus, the company's not losing money. Whatever game let's say you get a game that you like from a third-party company.
Yeah.
Let's say Streets of Rage 4. You love it. And I know you say, I got to buy it too.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, by the way, I bought that on 4 systems, man.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because I wanna
bought
support,
it.
you know?
I bought it on the Switch.
Yeah.
But they're still getting money from the company that's hosting that game. It's not like they're giving it for free. People actually think that it's free. No, it's not free. What it is every time you download a game, they get royalties from that. Every company is going to be different because of deals that behind the scenes that we don't know. But it will allow you to discover new games that I don't care if it's big or small. You download it like, oh snap, this is pretty good. And if you download it, that small little company is still going to get some type of income from that. So don't see it as like a bad thing. See it as like, even if you don't buy it and you download it, you're supporting that company too. I don't see it as like a bad thing, and I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, no, you actually didn't.
Okay,
it's so good. No, I was just asking
Wait.
like, how do you,
all right, there you go.
Hey.
I had to put that mic closer to our drink. There you go. We're drinking here, man.
That's it.
Yeah.
No, but my main question is like, how do you
Convince
properly-
them, okay.
Yeah, convince
It's-
people. Not only convince, how do you properly advertise it? Like, again, because there's a lot of people that don't watch TV.
Yeah.
They don't really go on YouTube. They have ad blockers on and stuff.
Yeah.
How do you convince those people,
Okay.
or how do you get the word out to those people? You
And
know?
I did kind of answer your question in the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah.
It's experience. It's experience, man. Because look, man, I cannot convince nobody to go digital. I can't convince them. And I get it. Maybe their internet speed is horrible around your area. Again, totally different conversation.
Yeah.
Right? But Gears 5 came out. And I was here walking around the city. Yo, I was seeing advertisements all over the city. Subways. I came here to Times Square that had a huge screen.
Yeah, like 2 blocks from where we are right now, people. Like, there was huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That. When we went to E3, they were not promoting Xbox Series X. What was it that Xbox were promoting?
It was, wasn't it, Gears? Right?
No. They were promoting Game
Pass.
Pass.
They were. That's right. Yeah.
They had Batman, Gears,
Yeah. That's right.
Tomb Raider, whatever advertisement they had, that's what they had. So you know what's going to happen? The more companies do that, forget about Xbox, just companies overall, once they start advertising like that, it's going to convince people. And people are like, you know what? Right now, people are kind of iffy. It's too new. It's super new.
Yeah.
I think the next generation, things are going to change. What was it that people complained about years ago during 2013 that even PlayStation took advantage of the situation, and they were talking about always online?
Yeah.
Right? People were against always online back then, right? The only thing I have to say is Xbox they did a really terrible job promoting that. But guess what? What is the most popular games throughout this generation? Fortnite is always online.
Always online.
Destiny 1 and 2, always online. Warzone, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
big right now, always online. Back then, it was so new. But through experiences, people actually downloading the game, or maybe even bought the physical and they updated to download that game, it forces them like, oh man, always online is okay. It's not the end of the world. It's experience, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, no, that did. Because again, and this is something I want to throw in too. Because something about how do we advertise? Yeah, you already know, man. Yeah, the only thing is like we can't tilt the cup at the same time. You know, we got a little bit of foam. Hope you guys can hear that.
There you go.
Pouring his beer.
Yeah.
Like I think influencers, and I am tossing us in the ring as well, right? We also are like probably going to be like a key instrument in getting the word out about these services. You know, because who are people going to listen to more, right? Like some like PR speak or guys like us who keep it real.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's a key component too. Again, I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, how do you get the word out to people? Word of mouth. That's how you do it. like, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back to the 80s.
Yeah. And listen, we're old, man. We got to reference the old stuff.
We're old, and we're old. And again, experience.
Yes, right.
Right. Nintendo fans, NES fans from the 80s. Let's go from 1985. We found out that you blow the cartridge and you put that game into the system and you could play. There was no social media. There was no way for people to find out. This was just friends telling other people. I even had family members from Dominican Republic. Just blow it and just put it in there. Like, how the hell they know?
Yeah.
They don't live in the United States. They don't live in Japan. They don't live in Europe. How the hell they found out in Dominican Republic? The community was the one that spurred the word. Then people tried it. Technically, it didn't really do anything. Now, thinking about it.
Yeah, now we know, yeah.
But it was word of mouth. That's the type of experience that we have to do with subscription services, with digital, all that. Because right now, Tony, it's a very small group of people that are against it. It's very small.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Very, very small.
They're vocal.
There's
they're
not that
vocal,
many
yeah.
Emilios like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There's not that many, man. But we're the ones spreading the word and telling people, man. It worked back in the days. I'm going to even take it even further, yo. Arcades.
That's right.
I'm going to take it to the arcades days. You have a high score. Did you know achievements and trophies was created because of arcades?
No, I didn't know that.
So, again, word of mouth, because of the community. Every time you have a high score, if you look at the credits or the screen of the arcade, it will say, take a picture of your score, and we'll send you a patch. So you could put it on your jeans, or you could save it at your home, whatever. That's your, and I quote, achievement or trophy.
Okay.
That's how achievements, because they came out first, that's how it got created, was because of what people used to do back in the 70s for arcade. They have an address that you send your physical picture to the company, and they'll send you a physical patch to your house.
Yeah.
Is the community word of mouth, man. So you say, how do you convince them? Your friend. Not PR. Forget about PR. It's your friend that you know next door. They're huge gamers. They're going to convince you, your listener or friend or your reader, to convince them like, hey, man, digital is the way to go. Subscription is the way to go. It's not PR. It's not Aaron Greenberg or Phil Spencer or whoever from Sony or Nintendo or Bowser from Nintendo. Like, you're not going to convince them, man. Like, look, and I'm going to take it one more thing from now, 2020. We got into the situation of COVID. Everything was closed. We were stuck. Animal Crossing came out. Do you know that was the biggest game, digital, that sold the most?
Yeah.
In the world?
In the world. And you know why, right? Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
You know? Social media, that it was big, you know?
In the world,
and it wasn't Nintendo going out there advertising.
And
it.
we had no
was,
other option to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have bought Amazon.com, but then you have to wait.
Yeah, you have to wait.
No.
And in that early time, it was hard to get things physical, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah. And people were like, no, I don't want to touch things.
Yeah, oh, bro.
At that time.
I said that, too. I didn't order for Amazon for months.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
No, so you're right about that.
Now we're comfortable. Now it's different.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
again, experience. That's the thing that your question, I basically answered it, man.
Yeah, you did.
I can't convince Emilio. Right now, he's like, man, like,
Yeah.
one of those old people, get off my lawn. Like, they're like that now. But years from now, it's going to change his it's going to change his mind, man, his opinion about everything. there's going to be certain games that you're probably going to buy physical because he just loves that game and you just want to have it part of the collection. You can't do that with every single game that you're like. You can't. You have to be really hardcore. Hey, more power to you. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have like those gaming basements or whatever.
Yeah.
By the way, this is a little bit of a off thing, but it's still related. This is what I think is going to happen with gaming in the future, right? Because there's a lot of people that are scared that we're not going to have physical games. Physical games will always be around, but I think you're going to be like vinyl. Vinyl came back, right?
Oh, and
vinyl came back. So yeah, and it sells.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's going to happen with gaming, right?
Yeah.
90% of it, or maybe 95% of it, is going to be digital, right? But there's still going to be physical ones for the games that people really want, and it's going to be like a special edition vinyl, like a vinyl version, basically. So
yeah.
And the reason I'm saying that is, the guys listening right now, don't be scared that physical is going to waste. That's not going to happen.
No.
It's just going to be very, specialized. So don't worry about that. And like you said, years ago, you said digital was the future. I'm not even going to say that. It's already here. That's the present.
But I mean, this is during the 360 days.
Yeah. So now, but you were prophetic, like Nostradamus, like a Dominican Nostradamus. But digital,
Miss Cleo.
Yeah, Miss Cleo.
Miss Cleo. Yeah.
Yeah. So like it already happened. So now, going with Game Pass. Streaming, that's a whole other conversation. We're not going to do that right now. By the way, I love how we've been talking about this for a while. I think that we're just going to keep it on this subject. And
Yeah. Go for it.
But but again, I just wanted to ask you these questions because I'm not going to, because this is Danny Pena. He's not a shill. He keeps it real. And I wanted to talk to you about it because I think if anybody can have a really strong case for Xbox Game Pass, you can make it. And again, it's coming from the heart. You're not saying that.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm not getting no type of money.
Yeah.
Look, I know people was like, "Oh, you're a shill." Like,
No.
I wish I'd be getting money. I could buy a car. I could have my own.
Yeah, right. I always say that about myself. Like people tell me that all the time. It's like, I wish I was getting paid off.
Yeah.
But you are looking out for the gamer, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to talk to you about this, just to really like hammer it home for the people who may not understand, and even for myself. I'm like, okay, what can we do to get this thing out there?
Okay, I'm gonna give you a perfect example.
Yeah.
And look, I'm not saying I'm from the inside, whatever. Maybe by the time this podcast comes out, maybe it changed.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, Tony, let's say you bought Spider-Man. Physical. You bought Spider-Man. Last generation. You love that game. Then you hear, oh man, Miles Morales is coming out. Right? You're excited. Like, oh man, it's a new game. Right? Then you find out it's not a full complete game. It's I want to call it an expansion. How you would call it? Like this is like a standalone.
Yeah, standalone
shorter game,
yeah.
but they're using the same map, same everything, right? But
Yeah.
it's just different story, whatever. So then you find out that oh no, Sony's gonna have the original game and Miles Morales into one. Available for physical. Is it fair to say, forget about the digital version, I'm talking about just physical. Is it fair for you to buy that game again and then have Miles Morales part of that package and you're paying $60?
Yeah. I'm glad.
Just answer that question, that part, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you why digital is good. But go ahead.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair or unfair. That's my take. Like,
Okay.
you opted to buy that one originally, so because there's people that they get mad or whatever when they come out with a collector's edition, Game of the Year edition or whatever a year later. I'm
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't be mad. Like,
No, 'cause there's a crowd that haven't
So
played
I'm not.
it.
So you know what? I'm not going to say it's fair or unfair. It's just how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that Sony's going to do this,
Yeah.
but imagine you bought the digital version, right? And Sony says, "Oh no, you don't need to buy the package. You could download Miles Morales. It's going to be $39.99. Just that. Forget about Spider-Man.
Yeah.
You could buy this game separately or cheaper. What's wrong with that?
Nothing
'Cause
wrong with that.
That's the thing. Like, there's benefits with digital. I'm not saying it's always like that, but if you buy a game physical, how can a company will know to do smart delivery? Let's, for example,
Yeah.
like you can't really do that.
The only way you could do that is with a digital update.
I mean,
Think
I don't know.
about that,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know unless they figure something out.
No, because they've done that before. Like,
But here's the thing: your friend will give you their disc, and you're kind of cheating the system.
Yeah, you can. But here's the thing, and people need to understand this: that disc is only a delivery service for the game.
DRM.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know, it's all DLC at the end of the day. It all goes on your hard drive.
Yeah.
You know, so you can update it that way. You know, by the way, it would be nice if Sony actually did that because, again, Danny's referencing the rumor of that Spider-Man Miles Morales is going to come bundled with a remastered version. I'm doing air quotes around a remastered version of Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
So what if you bought Spider-Man on the PS4, right? Can you just buy Miles Morales and get that update without having to re-buy the whole thing? You know, I don't see that happening.
I don't see that happening
because
either.
they need to charge you $60. Let's just be real here.
Yeah.
But it would be nice. That would be fair, I guess.
And it will be unfair if they charge Miles Morales $60,
Yeah.
knowing that game is not 40, 50
and that's why,
hours.
yeah, that's why I personally believe they're bundling of a Spider-Man just to justify the $60 price point.
Yeah.
You know,
What if, and this is the rumor, Halo Infinite multiplayer is free.
yeah,
So you're going to buy the physical, unless you want the campaign, and they'll probably will have the multiplayer in there, similar to Call of Duty. The campaign is there, and you could download the physical. You download the digital version of Warzone. The multiplayer is already there in the disc, but Warzone is a totally different beast. You could also download Warzone separately. You don't even need to buy the disc of Call of Duty. There's benefits with digital. It's not a bad thing. The only thing is hard drive space.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we have to worry about. And honestly, I prefer that. There's games that I'm not playing anymore. I just delete it.
just delete it.
But everything else is saved. My stats, my score, my progress. Everything is already saved in the system of PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. So you delete it. What is it you're losing?
Not lose anything. And if you want, you could re-download it again.
And re-download it
You know?
again. And I've been doing that with the Switch. And look, Switch is not like PlayStation and Xbox that has like a whole crazy amount of hard drive. You have to buy a card, a SD card.
Yeah.
I was going to say memory card. Wow, that's old school.
That's old, yeah.
But an SD card, for me to have more space, I bought a certain amount. Whatever I'm not using, I just delete. And I keep it moving. I'm not losing anything, man.
Yeah.
So people need to experience the digital version of gaming, and they can't be complaining if you haven't experienced that. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of
So-
interesting that we have to convince people about digital gaming in 2020. You figure it'd be a given right now, you know?
Yeah, but see, the same people that are complaining about that are the same ones that are watching movies on Netflix.
Yeah, which is funny because that's all digital. That's online all the
Yeah,
time.
and you don't own it at all.
Yeah, at all. Yeah,
At all.
kind of interesting how that works, man.
Now,
but yeah,
my friend, I have a couple friends
yeah,
that they have movies and documentaries
yeah.
in the service of Amazon Prime and also Netflix. They get a percentage from those companies every time you stream it. So it's not like they're actually losing. Every company is going to have a different business deal with the services. It's not the same for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But if you like a game from your favorite company, how is it is hurting by you streaming it? Not streaming it, but downloading from the service. How is it hurting them? I don't see that.
Yeah,
Do
no,
you see that?
I don't really see how it's hurting the company because all those profits, obviously, whatever the publisher is, they're going to get their cut too, right? But like you said, going back to reselling games, company doesn't get a cut of any of that.
Zero. You're
Nothing.
hurting the industry by doing that.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right now. This might be a little controversial statement.
Oof. Oh, okay.
I'm
Wait, let me take a sip. Let me take a sip.
Take a
All right.
sip.
All right, go.
I'm kind of glad that GameStop is going the way of the dinosaur.
Ooh.
That company, I'm sorry, Danny, my personal opinion. This is not the opinion of Gamertag Radio. It's
Yeah.
the opinion of Tony Polanco, right? Not even the opinion of Throwdown. This is the opinion of Tony Polanco.
Yeah.
I am not upset that GameStop may potentially go away because I think that company has hurt the industry in a lot of ways, especially with all that retail nonsense. The developers not getting any cut out of that, or even consumers, right? They get a game and they resell them for $55. It's like, come on, man, like you're ripping people off, So
Yeah.
when you buy digital, even though you may not own it physical or whatever, that money goes to the companies, and that ultimately helps them. Because if the companies get more money, and this is a little bit of side thing, and I guess we can start wrapping this up, because people always say, why do you care how much money these companies make. What do you care what a game makes? You should care, because if a game that you like makes a lot of money, you're going to get a sequel. If a service you like makes money, it's going to keep going. Like Xbox Game Pass, you support it and you like it, it's going to keep going. So you have to support it that way. You know?
I'm going to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
Forget about sequels. How about people creating jobs?
Yeah.
Companies creating more jobs. More money that these companies make, more investment they'll go for that company and the industry overall. So that will create more jobs, more opportunities for people to get opportunity to develop these games. People are not seeing that. They're seeing like, oh, I just want games for me, and that's it.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking industry overall. How that's going to help overall.
Yeah.
Always online, did it hurt? No.
Nope.
From physical to digital, did that hurt? Oh, actually, from cartridge to CD, did that hurt?
Nope. And from CD to digital, did it hurt? Nope.
No.
The industry is making more money now than ever.
Yes. Back in the days, this $70 price is nothing new.
Yeah, we've bought games at $70. Cartridges, yes.
Not CDs.
And think about it like this, people. This is $70 in 1990s money.
Even 80s.
80s. That's right. Think about that. You know?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
$70 now, it may sound ludicrous, but we were effectively paying like $100, and it's like today's money, you know?
Nintendo 64 were charging $70 for games.
That's
man.
right.
Unless it's first party, then it will be cheaper because that's the company. But
Yeah.
when it's a third party and they have a license to have their game on to that console, they have to pay a percentage to that company.
That's right.
That has that console. So they're like, yeah, we can't have it for $50. We're gonna charge $60 or $70 so we could get a higher money in return.
Yeah. That's right.
So people don't see that. They think, oh my God, $70. Oh my God, it's next gen. No. This has been going on for years.
Been happening, you know?
Been happening from back in the. It's nothing new to us.
Yeah, remember Super Nintendo and Genesis? Sometimes they would have those special cartridges with chips in them, $80 sometimes. There's nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
None of this is new, you know?
Yeah.
But again, this is also why I love having our podcast specifically, right? Because we know the old school. We can educate people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just don't know about this stuff.
And
you
they
know?
then again, the big word for this podcast, experience. They never experienced that, yo.
That's right.
So us that we experience it, let's talk about it. You could call us old, whatever, boomer, whatever the hell you want to call it. But it's the truth, man.
Yeah.
And I think by us talking about, again, our experience, it might convince people's opinion about everything that's going on in gaming, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
no, I don't see digital as a bad thing. No, I don't see subscription services as a bad thing. I see this as a good thing. It's pushing the industry forward. Always Online is pushing the industry forward. Fortnite, when it came out, who the hell was talking about Fortnite?
Nobody.
The single-player game. Nobody was talking about it. Maybe the first week or two, but it was the Battle Royale, digital, that changed the conversation.
Always online.
Always online. Always online. Free to play. Did that devalue Fortnite? No. Guess what? They had an artist, can't remember the top of the head right now, that did a live performance on Fortnite. It was one of the biggest things in entertainment history. Forget
Yeah.
about gaming, entertainment. You can't do that with music. You can't do that with movies. The way how Epic Games figured that out to do it live. All these people watch Twitch streams. You're not watching it on regular broadcast
Yeah.
TV or radio, FM, AM. You doing it digital. So my question to you that's been complaining about digital, how is it a bad thing, you know? It's pushing not gaming, just every industry forward, man. You have a phone, a smartphone. That's strictly digital. You're not buying physical to put in maybe covers.
Yeah.
Maybe a
But you're right.
memory card, SD card.
SD card, yeah. But all those apps,
Yeah.
all that stuff, Wi-Fi, all that is digital.
All digital. So how is that hurting your experience as a human being? It's making your life a lot easier. A lot easier.
Yo, Danny, you keep it real. Right now, how are you listening to us? Digital.
Digital. Exactly.
You're listening to us digital
Yeah.
right now.
You watch YouTube, Twitch,
Digital.
digital. You're reading content online. That's digital. You're not buying magazines. Again, how is hurting the industry?
Yeah.
Emilio, I bet you when you do your comics, your books, you also do it digital. Not only physical, you could do both. You could make more money. If you only do it physical, yeah, you get a crowd to buy physical, but you can get a bigger crowd buying it digital. That's the conversation we're having right now. Is that we're also moving forward and trying to do new things to be part of whatever is the big thing in the industry overall. On whatever it is, digital is not a bad thing, man. So for those that have been complaining to you, maybe your location, horrible connection, I completely understand that. But the times are changing, man. You want to get left behind? Do you want that? I've been getting opportunities, not because I'm releasing Gamer Tag Radio physically.
Yeah, this is not the old school Gamer Tag Radio
No.
with tapes, you know.
No, it's not tapes. It's not CDs. Digital. And
Yeah.
I hope convince you of the conversation.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean you didn't need to convince me. I've been digital all the way, you know. So,
But the conversation's been good because of it.
I'm glad you really laid that out, you know.
Yeah.
And I hope there's a lot of people listen to this and really kind of open their minds to what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Not only with Xbox Game Pass, which is what originally started this, but the broader conversation about digital games because
Yeah.
there is still that resistance that I see, you know. But I should add this, and it's a good way to I guess close this out. Those comments that I talked to you about, those questions I talked to you about, those were half of the comments. You know what the other half said? Xbox Game Pass is fantastic. I love it. I love paying $15 a month. I love that my kids can just play all these games all they want. I love that I don't have to hassle with all these games. That's the other half of it, you know? So it's definitely a good service, and I think having these kind of conversations, and then this is not only for Game Pass, this is to get maybe Sony to have their version of it. Maybe in 20 years, Nintendo will get aboard.
No, but Nintendo been doing a lot better than before.
Yeah, because I'm going to say this right now, Danny.
Yeah.
If there was an Xbox Game Pass or Nintendo Game Pass,
I'm all in. All the old school games.
that would blow up.
Yeah.
That would blow up. So
And I have to say this. I have to say this because this is super important to me. Just gaming overall. Forget about companies, whatever. It is sad that the negative have been talked about the most and promoted from content creators because they want to get clicks.
yeah.
It's sad that we're promoting more of the negative side, man. How is that helping the industry, man? Give your opinion, good and bad. I totally agree, but us as a community, we are talking more about the negative. What you just said, you waited to the end of the show to talk about that.
Yeah.
It's a thing about us human beings that we're always doing that,
Yeah.
and it's not a good thing, man.
No, it's just the way we're wired, Why
Why highlight?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and I'm not
right.
dissing you.
No, I'm glad you say that. Yeah.
I do the same thing too. Like
Yeah.
sometimes, oh man, how's that helping the industry, man? It's not helping, man.
It's not.
Let's focus on the good. Let's talk about the good. Post your feedback. Things that you don't like, that's fine. But let's talk about more of the good, man. Because there was things that I love about Xbox Games Showcase. There was things that I love about PlayStation 5, the reveal.
Yeah.
Right? There's stuff that Nintendo this year has been kind of okay. But there's stuff they've been doing throughout the years that it should be more talked about more. And we're focusing more on the freaking negative, man.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. But again, that's why I wanted to ask, why don't people talk about Xbox Game Pass? Why don't they see the positives? Why don't they see it for the big deal it is?
I'm going to keep it real with you, man. You're complaining. The industry moving forward, you're going to get left behind. There's going to be a time that is going to convince you. You know what's going to happen, Tony? One day, Halo Infinite comes out. Let's say it gets great reviews, let's just say. And you're like, in the back, angry. F Xbox. Then you see all your friends
playing
the game. You don't have the money to buy the console. But your friends go, yo, dude, $1 Game Pass. Just sign up quick. Yo, on your phone, you have a Bluetooth controller. Okay, you're good. You could play with us. You connect your headset to your phone. Subscribe, download the app of Xbox Game Pass or streaming service,
Yeah,
whatever,
Xbox streaming. Yeah.
and you can play the game without buying Xbox Series X. How in the world that's hurting the industry? You are enjoying that special moment with your friends to play those games. How's that hurting the industry, yo?
Yeah. No, just to answer it, I don't see how it is.
You're having
it's
fun.
It's an option.
Yeah.
You know, there's always
But your
options.
friends are telling you, yo, download, yo.
Yeah.
Nah, don't worry about buying it. Yo, it's only $1, whatever, for like a month or 2 or 3, whatever
Yeah.
deal Xbox has. How's that hurting you? For you that are listening, for those that
That's
sit
right.
right next to us drinking
That's
our
it,
beer,
drinking, you know.
and right now at home drinking at home, just enjoying this conversation, yo.
Yeah, how is it hurting?
How?
How does having options hurt you?
No. How is it hurts when your daughter, your son, like, Dad, I want to buy games. You don't have enough money, but you have to pay bills, real life situations,
Yeah, that's right.
right? But you have enough to sign up to PlayStation Now, Xbox Game Pass, $15 or even less, $15 or less. You're like, oh, here, maybe Google Stadia, whatever. But at least you're playing those games, and you're not missing out, man. Us, when we were young, Tony, I had an Atari 2600. When I got it, a year after, or even less, Nintendo came out. I didn't have the money to buy a brand new Nintendo because the situation that we were in back in the days,
That's
man.
right, yeah.
Especially like, people of color, our parents. No. We have to pay bills. We're not going to buy a new console, right? How about those parents that bought a Nintendo and then the Super Nintendo came out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, like,
The
don't you
reason-
already have a Nintendo?
the reason why
yeah.
I'm saying this is because now, 2020, 2021 and beyond, we have that option that you don't need to buy a console. You could still have the same experience that we're having that as console owners. For you that only have a phone, imagine the people in Africa, continent
That's
of
right,
Africa, and other countries like Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Peru, that don't have the money to buy a console, but they have a phone, a cheap Android phone or iOS old phone, but they found a controller that has Bluetooth. They could connect that controller to their phone, and they could play PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo.
That's right.
How is that hurting the industry? That's more players in our community, man. And I am passionate because I've been drinking as
That's
crazy.
it, man.
And there you go.
Yeah, that's it. Yo, this was a great conversation, man. Again, I just find it funny that, I'm here on Gamer Tag Radio.
Yeah,
and
no notes.
Yeah, no notes. And it was like Tony Polanco interviews Danny Pena about
Yeah.
But I love it. But again, what you just heard right now, this is what Danny and I talk about just regularly.
Every time.
So we wanted you guys to just be part of the conversation. You guys are here drinking with us, chilling at home right now. Whatever your personal situation may be right now. We're trying to give you guys not only like inform you what's going on, but also keep you entertained. You know what I'm saying? With everything that's going on. But yeah, digital, it ain't that bad. Here's the thing: digital's not the future. Digital's the present. It's already
the present.
Here. You just have to accept it. And I will just say this one last thing, and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah.
I want to know, and this is specifically for you guys that are me and Danny's age, in your 40s or whatever, right? What did you do when you were a kid, when you didn't have a lot of money? You went to Blockbuster, right?
Or you will go to arcades. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
and I remember this. Blockbuster were renting games. Sega was all up in there. Nintendo was against
That's right.
renting games.
Yep.
Totally. They even took them to court.
That's right.
People don't know that.
Yeah, no, that you're 100% right. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
Yeah, Nintendo took him to court.
Blockbuster won.
Yep.
Not Nintendo. What about the mom and pop rental spots?
That's right. Yeah, those exist. By the way, for you guys that don't know, we had mom and pop rental spots back in the day. So my thing is, if you're a gamer that's our age,
Yeah.
and you used to rent games back in the day, like I did when we didn't have a lot of money, why aren't you trying our Game Pass?
Actually, I'm going to take even
Oh,
before that. And this is a good one, Tony, because
All right.
we're music lovers.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we love music,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
There was a time an album comes out, you go to the store and buy it. You had no opportunity to listen to that album.
None.
None. There was no Spotify or Apple Music. No. You go to the store, you buy it, and that's it. You don't even know if the album sucked.
Yeah, you bought them just because you like the cover.
And
That's
the cover
it. That's
or
it.
the artist.
The artist,
and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
it. Then Blockbuster came, Blockbuster Music, and
Yeah.
said, no. You could grab the CD, listen to the album,
Remember that? I remember
and
that.
then you decide
Yeah.
if you want to buy that album. What is it we have now? When you go to Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Google Music, they'll give you a 15-second preview that you can listen to the whole album. Now,
Yeah.
digital. Again, the music industry moved forward, and it's better. It helped the industry. Now, dude, now I can't keep up. There's so many artists now.
It's a
Like,
lot,
it's
yeah.
a lot of music, but you have to make those changes, man, in any industry to move forward. So don't be scared. I'm going to end it with this.
Yeah.
Don't be scared of changes. If you don't agree on something, you shouldn't be like freaking out. Oh my God, man. Don't buy it. Don't support it.
That's it.
If you like physical, buy physical.
Physical will always be there for you. Don't worry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Now it's harder to find physical on music and
Yeah.
movies. It's less retail stores are selling that.
Yeah.
And we're in New York City. So you're gonna hear the crazy background.
That's right. Yeah. Apologies for that, people.
Yeah.
But again, going back to digital, you got Amazon, you got Best Buy. You want those albums? Hit them up.
But that's a perfect example of
Yeah.
what I said, right? About listening
Yeah.
to the album.
That's right. Yeah. And they give you samples as well. You know, so yeah, you just got to just open your mind to it, man. That's all it
Yeah.
is. You know.
Or with gaming. Before we end it up.
Yeah.
With gaming, you had to buy a magazine, and
Bringing
then you
it
get
back.
and then you get a demo, a disc demo.
Yeah.
That's how I discovered Final Fantasy VII. The demo.
The
I don't
demo,
know-
yeah.
Do you remember that? The demo.
I remember that, man.
The demo of Final Fantasy VII convinced me, like, wow, I have to buy this game. I have to buy this game. Even before that, there was no demos. You
Nothing.
buy it, you buy the game, and that's it.
Yeah.
I remember buying Back to the Future, the game, part 1 and 2. There was no demo. I'm thinking, oh man, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be dope. It's Back to the Future. It's Nintendo. It was garbage.
Garbage. Basura. You know.
Again, demos changed the game. What I'm saying now to end it, digital subscription is changing the game. And I'm going to leave it with that.
That's perfect, man. Yeah. Yo,
That's it.
yeah, no, this is dope, man.
And this is us freestyling drinking.
That's it. That's what we do,
Yeah.
man. So yeah, you know, I want to thank you obviously for having me on, even though it's me interviewing you.
I know it's like it's Tony hosting this right
Yeah,
now.
it's funny, man. You know, it just happened. But yeah, just quick.
Yeah.
Again, obviously, thank you for this conversation, and thank you for you guys who were listening to us, chilling, drinking with us,
And
and
please
everything.
let us know on Twitter,
Yeah, please
social
let us know on
media.
Twitter.
Yo, we're good, suck. Like, let's talk. It's not bragging. It's not dissing you
No, no,
guys.
yeah.
It's a normal conversation, man, because people are afraid of change, man.
Yeah, they
and
are.
It's you don't see it now, but at that time, it made sense what Xbox was trying to do. It looked good for Sony at that moment.
At the moment, yeah.
Xbox was trying to push the industry forward. They just had a terrible.
It was just the
messaging.
messaging. It was just.
It
the
was
messaging.
bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
But now you think about it, all the games, all your favorite games,
All that stuff came.
it's
true.
always online.
Yeah, all of it. You know.
All of it. Your phone, all the apps, is always online.
Yeah.
It's
This
the
is how it
messaging,
is, man.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just for a wrap up, obviously
Yeah, yeah.
I got to pimp myself. I almost forgot about it. You know.
Yeah, go for it, go
So
for
yeah,
it.
you can check me
Promote,
out on
promote.
Twitter, Romudeath. That's ROMUDTH. And if you look at my bio, I got links to all the stuff I worked on: PC Mag, Laptop Mag, Tom's Guide, and of course Throwdown. We have 2 episodes a week. That's Thursday and Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Thursday is the show where we go over the week's news, gaming news, and Sunday we take fan questions. We always love those shows. We always get a bunch of
Those are the
questions.
best. Those
Yeah,
are the best.
and we're about to hit episode 300 of both shows. You know, so
Congrats, man.
Yeah, and I'm going to say this right now. I can't give it away too much, but on episode 300, we're going to announce our biggest giveaway ever. The only clue you get is we're taking it to the next level.
Oh man, so it most likely will be a console.
I don't want to say yes, but I don't want to say no either.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a big giveaway.
Subscribe.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Again, Romudeth, ROMUDETH. Hit me up in the comments. I'm always down to talk to somebody.
You guys have Discord?
We do have Discord. Yes, you can join our Discord. If you go to it's at Throwdown Show, one word. We got links to everything. We're in Discord. Discord, by the way, quick shout out to my Discord fans. All the news that we get recently in the last it's all from Discord because we have a lot lively conversation in there, and everybody's welcome. There's no BS in our comments, so we always keep it
worldwide.
It's worldwide. Everybody's welcome, and you guys, for this year specifically, all the news we've been posting on Throwdown is thanks to you guys, And again, I want to give a big shout out to Jolly Yellow, right? Fan of Gamertag Radio, who's now a fan of Throwdown.
That's
and again,
cool.
I love that video because when he first sent me that video, it was like 3 a.m, so I didn't see the whole thing. So I saw the video. He goes, "Hey, I got my copy." By the way, I'm just gonna say, Danny, this is back to our point about digital, right? Every contest we've had, Jolly Yellow is the only guy who wanted a physical game. Everybody else, I want digital. Think about that. We've had hundreds of contests,
Yeah.
But I only heard the beginning of the video, and it's like, oh, thank you, it's Throwdown, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, that's cool. And then the next morning, I watched the whole thing, and then I saw the end. When he said Gamertag Radio, I'm like, oh, snap. So I had to tag you at Gamertag Radio, give you props. I love that, man. But yeah, again, thank you for having me on, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this conversation, and, we'll definitely keep it going because it's an evolving conversation.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna say one more thing I just realized now before I mention GTR stuff. Jeff Keighley used to do the Game Awards, the Video Game Awards.
That's right.
That was the original name on TV.
Yeah, Spike TV.
Spike TV. Had a good audience.
Yeah.
You might have different opinions about the content, but guess what? Jeff Keighley left, and he's like, no, I want to continue my awards. Let's do it digital. Forget about TV. His audience has been growing throughout the years, more and more. Reveals, the most recent, we got to watch Xbox Series X reveal and Hellblade 2 here. A couple years back, we got to see Zelda for the Switch and for the Wii U. Digital, not TV. So, again, you're complaining, but you're watching your videos on digital. Just want to say that real quick.
And you're listening to us digital, too.
Yeah, digital, too. And the Game Awards is growing even more because of digital, not because of TV. Traditional TV. So I just want to say that. All right, so head over to GamerTagRadio.com. Put your comments and feedback. Also, find us on any podcast app. Just search for Gamertag Radio. Make sure to subscribe to Throwdown Podcast. Just look it up, Throwdown.
Yeah, at Throwdown Show.
At Throwdown. Any podcast app, they're there. And I just want to say, Tony, it was a great conversation, man.
Thank you, man.
Look,
this is awesome.
we had nothing. I had nothing planned. I was like, Tony, what is it you want to talk about? And I learned all this while drinking with you right now.
Just off the cuff, man. That's how we do it.
So also, if you want to be part of Fan Mail, this is how you could contact us.
Send us your feedback or questions. Give us a call at 786-273-7GTR. Email us at fanmail@gamertagradio.com or leave a message on speakpipe.com/gamertagradio.
All right, so Tony, I just want to say thank you very much. It was a lot of fun. We're going to continue our conversation offline. But, we recorded an hour and 18 minutes.
We always do that. It's like, we plan like, we're going to do like half an hour, and all of a sudden this is an hour and a half show. But, this is fun, man. I hope you guys out there enjoy this, man. This is fun for us.
It was fun. It was fun.
It was fun for us.
All right, cool. Until next time, we're out. Peace. Live from New York City. We're out.
Thanks for listening to Gamertag Radio. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.